Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Speak Smart podcast. Today, we're going to be going on a deep dive into 20 keys to a successful life.
Okay.
And, it's not just about work and money.
Right.
We're talking about like the whole picture mindset, relationships, being the works.
Yeah.
What I think is fascinating is that right off the bat, this list challenges you to define what success actually means to you.
Yeah.
Not your parents, not society.
Yeah.
Not even your Instagram feed.
That's so important and so crucial to start there, because until you have that personal compass, any path could seem like the right one,
right?
Even if it leads you somewhere you don't truly want to be.
It's like setting off on a road trip with no destination in mind.
Exactly.
You might end up somewhere interesting, but it's probably not going to be that dream vacation you were hoping for.
Right.
So once you have that clear vision of success, then how do we make it happen?
Yeah.
I've heard of SMART goals.
Yeah.
But honestly, sometimes I set them and then life gets in the way. And then I'm like, oh, I failed.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
But SMART goals can actually help with that feeling of overwhelm.
Okay.
So think of it this way. Instead of saying, I want to be successful in my career, which is so broad, you get specific.
Okay.
Like, I want to earn my project management certification by December 2026.
Okay.
Suddenly it's less daunting and more actionable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
It's like breaking down a massive project into manageable steps.
Yeah.
But even with the best laid plans, we're bound to encounter setbacks along the way.
Yeah.
Is a growth mindset just about slapping on a smile and pretending everything's fine?
No.
Things go wrong?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's more about how you interpret those setbacks.
Okay.
So imagine someone with a fixed mindset.
Okay.
They hit a bump in the road and think, see, I knew I wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
But someone with a growth mindset sees that same obstacle and thinks, okay, this is valuable feedback.
Okay.
What can I learn from this?
Yeah.
How can I adjust my approach and come back stronger?
So it's not about never failing. It's about how you respond to those failures.
Exactly.
Turning those setbacks into learning experiences.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this study I read about entrepreneurs who had actually experienced multiple failures early on.
Interesting.
And they were actually more likely to find success later in their careers.
Okay.
Because they use those early stumbles as data points.
Yeah.
As opportunities to refine their strategies and their approach.
That's a perfect example of the growth mindset in action.
Right.
Think of it like a scientist conducting an experiment.
Okay.
You wouldn't expect every hypothesis to be correct, right?
Right.
Each failure just brings you closer to discovering the right formula for success.
I like that.
And that's where time management comes in, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Time management.
Yeah.
I am constantly feeling overwhelmed by daily life.
Yeah.
There's simply not enough hours in the day between work, family errands, trying to squeeze in some me time.
Yeah.
It can feel impossible to stay on top of it all.
Yeah.
Let alone make progress towards those big goals.
I hear you. It's a common struggle, especially in today's fast-paced world.
Yeah.
But remember, small, consistent actions, those tiny habits that compound over time, can create a massive impact over the long run.
So like what? Give me an example.
Even waking up just 30 minutes earlier to work on a personal project.
Okay.
Or setting aside 15 minutes each day to learn a new skill can make a huge difference.
I actually tried that morning routine thing a while back.
Yeah.
Setting aside a little time each day for a personal project. And I have to say, it made a surprising difference.
That's great.
But finding the time for lifelong learning with everything else going on can be tricky.
Yeah.
It's so easy to fall behind, especially with how rapidly the world is changing these days.
It's true. The skills that are in high demand today might be obsolete tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's why even dedicating small amounts of time each week to keep up can make a huge difference. And it doesn't have to be formal education.
Right.
Reading articles, listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Like this one.
Attending a workshop every now and then. These are all great ways to stay relevant.
It's like building a personal board of advisors with diverse perspectives I can tap into for challenges and opportunities.
Exactly.
You've had some amazing mentors in your career, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
And it's something I always encourage others to actively seek out.
Okay. How do you do that?
Identify someone whose career path or skills you admire.
Okay.
And just reach out. Maybe offer to help them with a project they're working on. Building genuine connections with mentors is so valuable, and it often starts with offering value first.
That's such great advice. Okay, so we're managing our time. We're building those small habits. We're staying curious.
Yeah.
But what about when the unexpected happens?
Yeah.
How do we stay adaptable in a world that's constantly shifting?
That's where the power of adaptability comes in, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's not just about learning new things, but also about applying that knowledge to different situations.
Right.
And I've noticed that the people who can adapt quickly, they seem to thrive even in the face of uncertainty.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Those who embrace change often find themselves ahead of the curve, seizing new opportunities and thriving in the face of uncertainty.
So it's all about seeing possibilities instead of roadblocks.
Exactly.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
Defining your success, setting goals, having that growth mindset,
Yeah.
managing time effectively, and embracing lifelong learning and adaptability. But we can't forget about self-care.
You're so right.
It's so easy to burn out when you're constantly pushing yourself towards success.
Self-care often gets overlooked, but it's the foundation for everything else.
Right.
Burnout and stress make everything harder.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to run a marathon on a sprained ankle.
Ouch.
You just can't perform your best.
I know exactly what you mean. So getting enough sleep, eating healthy, exercise regularly, these are all essential components of self-care, right?
Yes. Plus, practices like mindfulness and meditation can make a huge difference in managing stress and improving overall well-being.
Yeah.
You know, in our achievement-oriented society, we often get caught up in what we don't have or what we haven't achieved yet.
Right.
But practicing gratitude, consciously shifting our focus to appreciate the good things in our lives,
Yeah.
can make a world of difference.
I love that it's like taking off those light glasses and putting on a pair of rose-colored glasses instead.
Exactly.
It really can boost your happiness and motivation. I've been trying to start my day with a gratitude practice lately, just taking a few minutes to reflect on what I'm thankful for. And it really does set a more positive tone for the whole day.
I'm so glad to hear that it's those small, consistent practices that can truly transform our experience of the world.
Right.
It really is amazing how powerful a simple shift in perspective can be.
Right. We work so hard to achieve our goals to build a successful life, but then we forget to actually enjoy the journey along the way.
That's so true.
Speaking of which, even with the best mindset and healthy habits, life is bound to throw us some curveballs.
Yeah.
How do we deal with the inevitable challenges and setbacks?
That's where calculated risks and resilience come into play. Success isn't a straight line.
Right.
It's a winding path with twists, turns, ups, and downs.
Yeah.
And let's be real, we've all had our fair share of faceplant moments along the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's those moments that really test our resilience, don't they?
For sure.
I know I've had times where I just wanted to give up, to throw in the towel and say, this is too hard.
It's so easy to feel that way.
Yeah.
But you didn't give up, did you?
I didn't.
And that's the key. Resilience is that ability to bounce back from adversity, to dust yourself off and keep moving forward, even when you feel like you've been knocked down.
So it's about reframing those setbacks as learning opportunities.
Yeah.
And coming back stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before.
Yes.
You know, I took a huge risk a few years ago, quitting my stable job to start my own business.
Wow.
It was terrifying at first,
I bet.
but it's also been incredibly rewarding.
That's great.
Looking back, I realized that taking that leap forced me to step outside of my comfort zone
Yeah.
and develop a whole new level of resilience.
That's a fantastic example of how calculated risks can lead to tremendous growth, both personal and professionally.
Right.
It's about weighing the potential rewards against the potential downsides and making an informed decision based on your own risk tolerance and goals. And sometimes the greatest rewards come from the challenges we overcome and the lessons we learn along the way.
Couldn't agree more. Speaking of lessons learned, let's talk about finances.
Okay.
I think we can all agree that financial stress can be a huge drain on our energy and focus.
For sure.
It's hard to pursue your passions or even enjoy the present moment when you're constantly worried about money.
Absolutely. Managing finances wisely is essential for creating a sense of security and freedom, allowing you to pursue your goals without the constant burden of money worries.
Right. And it doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
It's about developing good financial habits early on.
Right.
Budgeting, saving, and investing wisely.
Yeah.
I recently started using a budgeting app.
Okay.
And Honestly, it's been a game changer.
Good for you.
It helps me track my spending, identify areas where I can cut back, and make sure I'm saving enough for my goals.
That's wonderful to hear. Having a clear understanding of where your money is going can really empower you to make informed decisions and take control of your financial future. And you know what? When you feel financially secure, you're more likely to want to give back to others.
So true. They say success is sweeter when you share it. And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I found giving back to my community, whether through volunteering, donating to causes I care about, or simply offering a helping hand to those in need, brings me immense joy and a sense of purpose that goes beyond my own personal achievements.
That's beautiful. It's about using your success, however you define it, to make a positive impact on the world around you. And it doesn't have to be these grand sweeping gestures.
Right.
It can be as simple as volunteering your time at a local charity, mentoring someone starting out in their career, or even just performing random acts of kindness in your daily life.
I recently volunteered at a local mentorship program for young entrepreneurs.
That's great.
And honestly, it was one of the most rewarding experiences I've had in a long time.
I can imagine.
Seeing those young minds light up with passion and possibility was more fulfilling than any promotion or bonus I could have received.
I love that story. It's a beautiful example of how giving back not only benefits the recipient, but also enriches the lives of those who give. And let's not forget about celebrating our own wins along the way.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget to pause and acknowledge our progress, especially in today's world of constant comparison on social media.
Oh, it's the comparison trap.
Yes.
And it can be so toxic. We start comparing our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel.
Yeah.
And suddenly our accomplishments feel small and insignificant.
It's crucial to celebrate those milestones, big or small, and to focus on your own unique path, your own definition of success.
I agree. And speaking of focus, let's not forget about persistence.
Right.
Success rarely happens overnight.
It really doesn't.
It takes consistent effort, dedication, and a whole lot of perseverance.
So true.
It's about staying the course even when you encounter obstacles, setbacks, or those inevitable moments of self-doubt. And let's be honest, there will be times when you want to give up,
Yes.
when you question everything and wonder if it's all worth it.
Yeah.
But it's during those times that it's most important to dig deep, to tap into your inner reserves of strength and determination, and to keep moving forward one step at a time.
You're so right. And I think it's helpful to remember that persistence is easier when you're genuinely passionate about what you're doing, when your goals are aligned with your core values and your vision for your life. What's that one thing you're working towards that truly lights you up inside? That North Star that guides your decisions and motivates you to keep going even when the going gets tough.
That's a powerful question for me. It's about creating content that empowers and inspires others to live their best lives.
That's awesome.
That's what gets me out of bed in the morning, what fuels my creativity, and what keeps me going even when I face challenges or setbacks.
I love that. And it shines through in your work. And for you, dear listener, what's your North Star? What impact do you want to make on the world? What legacy will you leave behind?
Wow.
Those are powerful questions to ponder as you continue on this exciting journey of creating a successful life defined on your own terms.
Beautifully said. Now, we've talked a lot about setting goals, developing a growth mindset, managing time effectively, building resilience, and staying financially savvy.
Yeah.
But there's another crucial element to success that I think we need to highlight.
I'm all ears. What is it?
It's about acknowledging and appreciating our strengths.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's so easy to get caught up in self-criticism, to focus on our weaknesses or areas where we feel like we're falling short.
Yeah.
But dwelling on our shortcomings can be incredibly draining and ultimately sabotage our progress.
That's a great point. I think we often take our strengths for granted, brushing them off as no big deal or downplaying our natural talents and abilities. But recognizing and celebrating those strengths can be incredibly empowering. It's about understanding what we excel at, what we genuinely enjoy doing, and where our natural gifts lie.
You know, I recently came across this exercise
Okay.
where you list all the things you're good at, even the seemingly small or insignificant things.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, it was a real eye-opener.
Cool.
I discovered talents and abilities that I had completely overlooked or dismissed as unimportant.
I love that exercise. It's a great way to shift your perspective and gain a deeper appreciation for your unique skills and talents. And you know what? When you operate from a place of strength, you're more likely to achieve your goals and make a positive impact.
It's like you're playing to your A game instead of constantly trying to improve areas where you might naturally struggle. It allows you to leverage your strengths and create a path to success that feels aligned and authentic.
Exactly. And speaking of creating a path to success, let's talk about the importance of being proactive and taking initiative.
Yes.
It's not enough to just sit back and wait for opportunities to come to you. You have to go out there and create them.
I completely agree. It's about taking ownership of your life, your career, your destiny.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting for someone to give you permission or for the perfect moment to arrive, you're taking action, making things happen, and showing the world what you're capable of.
I love that make it happen. Attitude taking, initiative demonstrates ambition, resourcefulness, and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. And you know what? It often leads to unexpected opportunities and growth.
It's like you're putting yourself out there, showing the world what you're capable of, and the universe responds accordingly.
I love that.
And when those opportunities arise, it's crucial to embrace continuous improvement, wouldn't you say? In today's rapidly evolving world, it's more important than ever to be adaptable, to constantly seek out ways to expand our skill sets, deepen our knowledge, and refine our approach to life and work.
Absolutely. And continuous improvement doesn't have to mean making massive sweeping changes overnight. It can be about those small incremental steps that compound over time, like dedicating 40 minutes each day to reading an industry publication or a book related to your field, attending a webinar once a month to learn about new trends and technologies, or even just having regular conversations with people who inspire you and challenge you to think differently. What are some ways you embrace continuous improvement in your life?
Well, I'm a firm believer in lifelong learning. So I try to carve out time each week for reading, taking online courses, and attending industry events.
Awesome.
It helps me stay ahead of the curve, keeps my mind sharp, and ensures that I'm constantly growing and expanding my knowledge base. And honestly, I find it incredibly stimulating.
That's wonderful. And it's a great example of how continuous improvement can not only enhance your skills and knowledge, but also bring a sense of fulfillment and purpose to your life. And all of this is fueled by a fundamental belief in yourself and your vision, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Self-belief is the rocket fuel that propels us forward, especially when we encounter those inevitable challenges and setbacks along the way. It's about having that unshakable faith in your ability to achieve your goals, even when the going gets tough, even when doubts creep in and you start to question everything.
It's about trusting your gut, your intuition, your inner compass, even when the outside world might be sending you mixed messages. And you know what? Self-belief is contagious when you radiate confidence and self-assurance. It inspires others to believe in you as well. It opens doors, creates opportunities, and helps you build a network of support that can help you achieve your goals.
It's like you're putting out a vibe of, I can handle this, I'm worthy, I'm capable, and the universe responds in kind.
Beautifully said. And, all of this ties into the importance of communicating effectively and building strong relationships.
Communication really is the key to so many things in life, isn't it? From personal relationships to professional success. Our ability to connect with others, to express ourselves clearly and authentically, and to truly listen and understand others' perspectives, it all plays such a vital role in creating a fulfilling and successful life.
It's the foundation of everything. Think about it. Effective communication builds trust, fosters collaboration, and helps us navigate conflict constructively. It's about creating a space where everyone feels heard, respected, and valued.
I couldn't agree more. And it's a skill we can all continuously work on and improve, right? It's not like we're born knowing how to communicate perfectly. It takes practice, self-awareness, and a willingness to learn and grow.
Absolutely. There are so many resources available to help us enhance our communication skills, books, workshops, online courses. But sometimes the most effective way to improve is simply to pay attention to how we communicate in our everyday interactions. To be mindful of our words, our tone of voice, our body language, and how those things impact the people around us.
So much of communication is nonverbal, isn't it? It's not just about the words we say, but also about how we say them and the energy we bring to the conversation.
Exactly. And remember, effective communication is a two-way street. It's not just about expressing ourselves clearly, it's also about being present and actively listening to what others have to say.
It's about putting aside our own agendas, our own distractions, and really tuning in to the other person's perspective, to listen with empathy and a genuine desire to understand. And speaking of surrounding ourselves with the right people, the next key on the list emphasizes the importance of building a supportive network.
Ah, yes. Surround yourself with positive and supportive people. This one is so crucial. The company we keep has a profound impact on our well-being, our mindset, and ultimately our success.
It's like that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. their energy, their beliefs, their habits, they all rub off on us, whether we realize it or not.
So true. So it's essential to be mindful of who we allow into our inner circle, to surround ourselves with people who lift us up, who inspire us, who challenge us to grow, and who celebrate our successes.
And on the flip side, sometimes it's necessary to let go of relationships that are no longer serving us, even if it's difficult. It's about creating space for healthier, more supportive relationships to enter our lives.
I think that's a really important point. It's about recognizing that our needs and priorities evolve over time, and sometimes relationships that were once fulfilling might no longer be aligned with our growth.
It's about setting healthy boundaries, honoring our own needs, and making choices that support our well-being. And that leads us to another key: manage stress effectively and maintain a healthy work-life balance. In today's always-on culture, it's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget to take care of ourselves.
It's true. We live in a society that glorifies busyness and productivity, but chronic stress can take a serious toll on our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. It can lead to burnout, anxiety, decreased productivity, and even physical health problems.
It's like we're running on a hamster wheel, constantly striving, pushing, doing, without ever pausing to catch our breath or recharge our batteries.
And that's why it's so crucial to prioritize self-care, to make time for activities that nourish our mind, body, and spirit, and to create clear boundaries between our work life and our personal life.
So things like setting limits on work hours, making time for hobbies, spending time in nature, getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, exercising regularly, meditating, journaling, practicing gratitude, all of those things can contribute to managing stress and maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
Absolutely. It's about finding what works for you and making a conscious effort to prioritize your well-being, even when it feels like there's not enough time in the day. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Such a great reminder. And you know what? Maintaining a healthy work-life balance isn't selfish. It's essential for long-term success and happiness.
Couldn't agree more. When we're feeling refreshed, energized, and fulfilled, we're better able to show up in all areas of our lives: our work, our relationships, our creative pursuits, our communities. And speaking of showing up fully, that brings us to another key. Embrace challenges and view setbacks as opportunities for growth.
Yes, the importance of resilience. Yeah, we touched on this earlier when we talked about having a growth mindset, but it's worth emphasizing again.
Absolutely. Challenges and setbacks are an inevitable part of life, and it's how we choose to respond to those challenges that truly matters.
It's about reframing those failures as learning opportunities, as stepping stones on the path to success. It's about developing that bring it on attitude, knowing that you have the strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle that life throws your way.
Exactly. It's about asking yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this setback to grow, to evolve, to become an even stronger and more capable version of myself?
And to remember that every successful person has faced their fair share of challenges and setbacks along the way. It's part of the journey. It's those experiences that shape us, mold us, and ultimately make the victory that much sweeter.
So well said. And building on that idea of resilience, let's talk about the importance of focusing on solutions, not problems.
Okay.
It's so easy to get caught up in negativity, to dwell on what's wrong, to complain about things we can't control.
Oh, I know I'm guilty of that sometimes. But I've learned that focusing on solutions is so much more empowering. It's about shifting our mindset from, why is this happening to me, to, how can I fix this?
Exactly. It's about being proactive, resourceful, and solution-oriented. And you know what? When you approach challenges with that kind of positive can-do attitude, you attract more positive energy into your life.
It's like you're sending out a signal to the universe that says, I'm ready to handle this, bring it on. And this all ties into the idea of adaptability, doesn't it? We've touched on this before, but in today's rapidly changing world, the ability to embrace change and adapt quickly is more important than ever before.
It's the key to thriving in the face of uncertainty. And you know what? People who are adaptable are often the ones who are able to seize new opportunities, to innovate, to create breakthroughs.
They're the ones who see change not as a threat, but as a catalyst for growth and evolution.
Beautifully put. And along with adaptability, let's not forget about the importance of patience and persistence.
Yes, the power of perseverance. I think we can all agree that success rarely happens overnight. It takes time, effort, dedication, and a whole lot of grit.
It's about staying the course, even when the going gets tough, even when you feel like giving up. It's about having that unshakable belief in your vision and your ability to achieve it, even when faced with setbacks and delays.
And it's about trusting the process, knowing that the journey is just as important as the destination.
And that brings us to the final key on our list. Live with purpose and make a difference. This is what it's all about, isn't it? creating a life that feels meaningful and impactful, a life that's about more than just ourselves.
It's about aligning our actions with our values, about using our unique talents and passions to contribute to something larger than ourselves, to make a positive impact on the world around us.
It's about finding our why, that driving force that gives our lives meaning and direction. And it doesn't have to be something grand or extraordinary. It can be about those small, everyday acts of kindness, generosity, and compassion that ripple outward and create a more beautiful world.
I love that. It's about recognizing that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter how big or small, and that even the smallest acts of kindness can have a profound impact on the lives of others.
This has been such an incredible deep dive. We've explored so many facets of success, from mindset and habits to relationships, resilience, and purpose. What has resonated most with you during our conversation today?
I think what struck me the most is that success isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. It's a deeply personal journey, unique to each individual.
It's about creating a life that feels aligned and authentic to you, not based on someone else's definition or expectations.
And that these 20 keys, while incredibly valuable, are simply tools in a toolbox. It's up to each of us to choose the tools that resonate with us, to experiment, to adapt, and to create a life that feels fulfilling and meaningful on our own terms.
And to remember that success is not a destination, it's a way of being. It's about living each day with intention, purpose, and joy.
So well said. On that note, it's time for us to wrap up this episode. But before we go, I want to encourage our listeners to take some time to reflect on these 20 keys to a successful life. Which ones resonated with you the most? What action steps can you take to integrate these principles into your own life?
That's a great call to action. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. And the journey begins with a single step.
So take that step today. Embrace the challenge, believe in yourself, and create a life that feels truly fulfilling and impactful.
And remember, have fun along the way.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening to the Speak Smart podcast, and subscribe to my channel, like the hit button.